And to talk more basketball, you already know what it is. We are back because we're not just, Warrior specific. So we will look around the association for this one. And this time, just like every time, I got that special guest for you guys. The owner, CEO of Sports Buzz Network, Courtside Buzz, Combat Buzz, Blitz Buzz, Stereo Buzz, and there's one coming out for baseball. Please put your hands together for joining us shortly. We'll see what the technical difficulties it is that's hindering our meeting so far. There we go. Just talked about it, and here he is. How you doing, my brother?
What's up? What's up? I appreciate you having me again. Always a pleasure.
Bro, pleasure is all mine every time. How's your day going so far? How's your morning? What you do?
Good, good. Everything's good. Nice sunny day in New York.
There we go.
Got the new Courtside Buzz merch
You
on.
guys are
Got
heard it
some
here.
coming
There we go.
soon for everybody listening. There'll be t-shirts and sweatshirts dropping this summer.
There we
So
go.
got a
Summer
little sneak
drop
preview on
coming
here.
up.
Yep.
Yep. We gave that preview, I feel like, two talks ago, where we talked about, the baseball one kind of coming through the cracks. We talked about you dropped the, breaking news for us at that time. So appreciate you for that. Hope you have a golfing day trip planned again very soon,
Oh, always. Always. And Strikeout Buzz or Ballpark Buzz, between those two names,
Okay.
will be dropping over the next 2 weeks.
There we go. As summer heats up, Sports Buzz about to heat up even more. Let's get it.
Exactly. When the NBA season comes to a close, I could kind of breathe a little bit and
Yeah.
start kind of really jumping into new projects. You know what I mean? I got a lot to cover. This season, my brother, it's felt like 4 seasons in
Yeah.
one with the Luka trade, the crazy trade deadline, all of the stories going on. It's been the longest year of basketball, it's felt like.
Here, with me. Take a breather.
Yeah, yeah.
Let it go. Let it go. There we go. All right. I want to jump in, start this conversation. I feel like as I was just talking right now, we got to start out here, in the Bay. You see it, it's supposed to be sunny, but I'm kind of, covered by the shade, and that's how it kind of feels. Like, we had a chance. There is that little ray of sunlight, but, Steph gets injured. Jimmy, we didn't see the kind of like what you just posted recently. You guys go check that post out with D Wade, what he just talked about. Like, it's not the Jimmy of, Miami. Like, even in Miami, like, by the time they faced against the Nuggets, it wasn't the same Jimmy that faced against LeBron in the finals, So, like, that change was kind of hard. I'm happy for JK. He did his thing. He's about to go get his bag, whether it's with us or, more likely that it is somewhere else. And I feel like, the Buddy Hield edition, like, on the long run, it was actually a positive one, no matter how much people kind of, like, bashed him and, like, him kind of missing those games. Like, it showed, but at the same time, it's his first year in a winning organization. Like, I feel like he gets that pass. He played his best defense, so, like, you got to give him some love. And, yeah, like, the rest of the guys, we're still pretty young. Like, to show up in these times, it wasn't it.
Yeah, I'd say to what you said about Jimmy, what I didn't like that he said specifically after Steph, when people ask if he's going to turn into playoff Jimmy, he's like, well, that's not exactly my intention. My intention is to get my guys involved, pass them the ball in the right situation, set them up. Okay, that's great. But that's the politically correct answer from Jimmy Butler about how he should be playing.
Right.
He should have really said, no, I'm going to turn into playoff Jimmy. Steph is down. Robin needs to pick him
Right.
up. And I need to drop 35-40 to win. And that's what the Warriors were missing or what they didn't get. So that's why they lost 4 games in a
Right.
row. Jimmy couldn't fill Steph's shoes. I mean, who really can? But it's tough. It's tough. And yeah, you got to give Minnesota credit. Got to give them
Yeah,
credit.
I feel like they took our hearts, like, out here in the Bay in Game 3 or Game 4, and we never kind of, like, recovered from it. And going back to another thing that you just posted, Draymond just came out and gave his love to Julius Randle, deservedly so. Like, he probably had one of his best performances, like, ever, especially in the playoffs. He was pretty much the unguardable one. I mean, pretty much everybody on their squad was unguardable for us, and I feel like that kind of, like, just kind of letting it slip, and by the end, like, the rope was too far gone to kind of pull it back to anything.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You got to give Minnesota a lot of credit. Their depth. I mean, they took out the Lakers like it was nothing. I mean, yeah, Steph was injured, but the Warriors are still a damn good team,
Right.
and they made it look easy against them too. Almost every game was out of reach. So Julius Randle deserves a lot of credit. I posted something the other day. You know, his wife follows the page, and
Okay.
anytime I post about Julius, she's always interacting, sharing it on the story.
Very
But
good.
that doesn't mean I won't hold him accountable to how
Right,
he
right, right,
does
right.
or has done.
For sure.
So I posted something that back in 2021 against the Hawks, he averaged like 15 and 10, which is good, on 30% shooting and 20% from three, which is gross.
The
But
first
now he's
round,
turned
right?
around. He's playing some of the most efficient ball he's ever played, like you said. He's, playing within the offense. He's not jacking up one on one, post fadeaways or deep threes that, the team doesn't need. And that's why he just averaged 25 on 55% shooting, 40 from three. Extremely impressive. Extremely
Yeah.
impressive. And that was with Draymond guarding him, a
Yeah.
majority of the time.
Primarily, yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a he was up there for Defensive Player of the Year, like along with Mobley and Dyson Daniels, he was up there. So that's a great development on Julius' part too. I feel like that's another thing that kind of veering off a little bit, but like that's another thing. Like people don't give these players like enough time to develop them. Like it's at 21 you want a finished product because you drafted them at 18, but like, bro, they're barely getting this like legally starting to drink at 21. Like you're already trying to move them because they're not the right piece or they didn't develop by 21. It's like everybody wants like instant product, but nobody wants to put in the time. The reason why players back in the day developed a lot more was they were there for 3 years. They knew systems, and like they learned a lot more from coaches that taught a lot more. Now it's like it's just a business transaction. 6 months you're there, and like you run
Yeah.
like reactionary basketball, and you try to come to the league and try to play the same thing.
That's why, DeMarcus Cousins on Run It Back on FanDuel TV, I'm pretty sure that's what they're on. He just said that the Dallas Mavericks should, no doubt about it, trade their number one pick, Cooper Flag, for a Kevin Durant package. Now, I know we're a little off track here, but what I have to say is Kevin Durant's going to be 37 years old next year. Cooper Flag is what, 20? All the potential in the world. Been balling out against Team USA last year. Had a great, rookie freshman college
Yeah,
season. So that potential is off the charts. Why are you going to trade that for Kevin Durant? What has Kevin Durant really shown us other than a consistent 25 points per game his whole career? But over the last couple of years, what's he
yeah,
shown us on a winning
right.
standpoint? Knocked out. No, didn't even make the playoffs this past season. This season, last year got swept by Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. The season before that, he got bounced in the second round 4-1 by Boston, I believe that was. So, okay, a team of him and Devin Booker, you can't at least make the playoffs?
That's
Like
insane.
KD, okay, maybe he does need weapons around him to really activate that winning, but why, with Kyrie injury prone now after his injury in his 30s,
Yeah,
Anthony Davis
he's
entering
prone.
his mid 30s, you're going to add Kevin Durant at 37 years old and gut your future? Dude, I think Dallas would burn the city down after what happened with Luca, and then
Yeah,
it'll be 6 months later if they trade Cooper Flag. That would be nonsense. I can't believe the rumors that are flying around about that.
I mean it's gonna get crazy. That's like rumors are the reason that makes the NBA world go around, but. Yeah, it's insane. I feel like there's like Cooper Flag has gone from Milwaukee to Phoenix to like
Yeah,
everywhere. Even though
and
like
and like you said, he has years and like a decade plus to develop,
15 years minimum, and
and
he could
he's
like
already very, very good.
he's
And
not gonna
his
be Kevin Durant, but he might come very close to it if you
yeah,
develop him right. And like
and his body type is
yeah,
phenomenal. He's 6'8", long, could shoot, athletic freak, all of that stuff. So
that too.
why
He
do you
actually
want to?
likes to
Why do you
defend.
want to give that up?
He actually likes to defend. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't like shy away from being the primary defender either. That's what I like about him too. Yeah, it should be interesting. I feel like Cooper Flag is a perfect like placeholder for them. Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
have your current star of like Kyrie and that, and then you have your next star with him. You could bring in a couple more young guys. Like I
Hmm.
think they still have Jaden Hardy there.
Yep.
Like a couple of those young guys. Lively still only like going into his third year now. Like you still have that duo to kind of build around for the future as well. So it wouldn't make sense for them, and I don't think they will.
And what do we see in Brooklyn? We saw too many mouths to feed. When you have too many mouths to feed with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie, yeah, chemistry could be developed, but I want the ball, I want the ball, and I want the ball. It would be the same thing with AD, Kyrie, KD. It just no. Cooper Flag is going to be young enough to fit into a role where they need him to just average 15
Yeah,
for his rookie year.
like
That's
a
it.
Kawhi Leonard in the beginning. You know, like
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And look what he became when he grew under Pop,
yeah.
grew under Duncan, Manu, Tony. It'll be
Oh,
the same thing of Cooper growing under AD and Kyrie, you know?
yeah, and that too. Like I just saw on Gil's Arena, Danny Green talked about it. Like when Kawhi came into the league, he didn't even have a jump shot. Like when he first saw that jump shot, he's like, and then like later on, he kept on working on it, and then like that 2019, shot that's heard
Yeah.
around the world forever. Like it's work that you put into it, and like you see that Cooper Flag is a worker. He doesn't shy away from it. So I hope Dallas sticks with it. That's what kind of like brought Nico back in the
Yeah.
good graces of those Mavericks fans. So for them, let's hope. Let's get away from this first overall talk though. Let's get back into the playoffs a little bit.
Yeah.
You know where I gotta start. It's go New York, go. How we feeling? Conference
It's
finals,
been
first
great.
time
It's
25
been
years,
great.
baby. Let's go. Come on now.
Listen,
Gotta get
I
hype
give him a
right now.
lot of I give him a lot of credit because me as a journalist, me as just looking from the outside, looking in, covering the game, I doubted him. I doubted them. The reigning champs,
They were there.
the reigning champs are always getting back to at least the conference
Yeah,
finals.
they were there.
They were, yeah, and these Knicks, man, they're tough. They're tough and they're gritty. They got blown out twice in game 1 and game 2, came back in both games.
Yeah,
And they actually got blown out in game 3, and then they made it count the next two. So it's it's been pretty phenomenal. I was sweating. I didn't want it to go game 7 because that would have been ugly.
yeah.
But you know
Game 7,
the Knicks,
Boston. Yeah, I feel like it would have
yeah,
been
yeah. The Knicks
like not that you
took
guys didn't
game
pull it out. It
6,
would have been,
took game 6 by the throat, and didn't even let that come to
yeah.
happen at all.
Like from the beginning, that was a beat down.
Yeah, wire to wire.
Yeah. But how do you think, you guys are going to do going forward now the Pacers are coming through? I'm going to just give you my quick thoughts,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
out from the outside perspective. I feel like this might be a tough one for you guys. Why? Because Pacers love to run and they play
Mhm.
with depth. What do you guys hate? Probably running because you guys have been running your asses all day, all game for like 40 minutes. And at that speed in the playoffs, that's going to be tough for, guys to kind of keep up and their body to kind of like hold it together. Tyrese Halliburton's just playing at a different speed, bro. Tyrese Halliburton's just playing at a
Yeah,
different speed. Like,
yeah.
if it gets close and if it's in the fourth quarter, I have no question in my mind Jalen Brunson's going to take over. Like, it's going to be a wrap, right? But how we just talked about, if New York gets down like 20, like they did against Boston, the way they're going to have to come back, like Indy is going to press at the rim too.
Yes.
Like they're not just going to jack up threes all day like Boston does. So I feel like, Pacers do have a chance in this one.
I like New York having a better defense and better rebounding.
Okay.
That helps. I think what they have to do is make really good defensive
Yeah.
matchups. I think you literally cut the head off the snake of Tyrese
Okay.
Halliburton. He's the snake.
Yep.
He controls everything.
He can just.
Even if he's not having crazy numbers, he's running that offense. It's
Mhm.
flowing. The play calling of Carlisle has been great. And then Tyrese takes over in the fourth when it's needed.
Yeah.
And with high assist numbers, of course. But take away the head of the snake. Put OG on Tyrese. OG and McHale switch on and off.
Okay. Okay.
Totally disrupt the entire offensive flow.
Okay.
That's what I think it should be. They're going to give up, some height, some length elsewhere
Yeah.
because Brunson will probably be on an Nemhard or maybe a Matherin when he's in, which that's a tough matchup for him.
Yeah.
But Tyrese has been killing. You need to make other people beat these Knicks. So yeah, they got their hands full. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. If I had to make a prediction right here on King Sports Talk, I would say Knicks in 6
Knicks and 6?
or
Okay. Okay.
7. I think the Knicks get it done.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because I think Knicks are the higher seed, right? If I'm.
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's anything crazy for me to
No, no,
say. I mean,
no. It's
listen, Indiana got better from last year,
for sure.
but the Knicks got deeper. They're not injured right now. There's no Julius Randle last year who could have played, but he was injured with his shoulder. Josh Hart was banged up. Other guys were banged up. And, They put up a fight, but it was all Jalen Brunson. Literally Jalen Brunson against the Pacers. Now there's Cat, there's McHale. OG has become this, Scottie Pippen like player, Kawhi like player for the
Yeah.
Knicks. So yeah, it's been fun and it's going to be a great series.
Yeah, I feel like with players too, you guys match up evenly. Like you have your Mitchell Robinson to a Miles Turner. Like they're not exact, but they're those shot blocker defensive guys down there. Like in the wings too, you have your OG Mikal Bridges to go line up with Pascal Mathurin and all those guys. So I feel like this is actually going to be an underrated series.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
outside Indiana and New York market, like people are gonna be like, it's the Knicks, it's the Pacers, like still kind of like try to downplay it, but I feel like it is actually going to be a really fun series.
There's a lot of history there. Of course, from the '90s,
Shout
early
out Reggie
2000s, but then
Miller.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to shout him out, go ahead. Courtside Buzz fan Reggie Miller. But what was I going to say? Yeah, the WWE little
Oh yeah,
wrinkle and all this stuff
yeah.
is pretty cool with Brunson and Halliburton being on that. So yeah, it'll be
I know.
cool. It'll be cool. Now with that fan, the Knicks fans throwing garbage at the Pacers fan. There's some stuff coming along, some little, like I said, wrinkles in this story, which will make it interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna be a homer. I was gonna be with my brother. I was gonna be like, "Hey, go New York, go all the way till we fall off." But I saw that video. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know. I can't support this fan base and this team if this is the action that they're gonna show. Because if y'all are gonna do that, like in that, by the time y'all get to the finals,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
y'all win the game in the finals, like, people are not gonna know how to act. Like even Ben Stiller, I think, came out and tweeted
Hmm.
like, "Hey, New York, like this is not how we act." So it's I don't got
Listen,
hate for New
listen.
York. It's more like the action kind of like took me away from that to pick them
Yeah,
to
no,
be
I
in
understand.
position.
I listen. I look at it in two ways. Trashy Knicks fans, drunk in a herd mentality
Yeah,
after a huge
true,
win, with
true.
wanting to show off to social media. Bad combination.
Yeah,
Uh, the Pacers fan, has every right to wear that jersey.
yeah,
I mean, wear it whenever, however he wants.
sure.
If I was him, I'd use a little more common sense and just be like, listen, New Yorkers are crazy. They just won a game. Why am I going to walk through 7th Avenue with the Pacers jersey on 5 minutes after they advanced? That wasn't the best
Yeah,
decision, if you ask me. That's just kind of like looking for trouble where, you stuff the jersey in your pocket, you get on with your night. That's how I feel about it.
yeah.
And
I
and
watched
and
it.
and I'm still holding the Knicks fans accountable. That was pretty embarrassing.
I was watching his conversation with Pat because he came up on his show yesterday. And then Tyrese, shout out to him too. They're, I think, flying him and a +1 out to Game 4 against you guys to like have that taken care of. So shout out to the Pacers and Hallie for that. But yeah, like I mean, but with his situation, it was, I think he was dropping off his kids. He was going back home or something. Like you said, should have just put that jersey in your pocket, bro. Would have just went
Yeah.
by. Nothing would have happened, and you could have wore your jersey in between. Like, put it in your pocket in that little space, and then go back to putting your jersey back on.
Listen, are you going to walk past the Lions Den with fresh meat in your
That's what I'm
pocket?
saying. You can't
It's
be having beef jerky as you pass by. You're just gonna keep on pulling them.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Too. But let me get your thoughts on the Western Conference Finals as we kind of dip out and make those finals predictions. Let me hear your thoughts on Anthony Edwards against SGA. Oh my God, this is another reason why I didn't mind losing. I was like, as a basketball fan, am I really gonna complain? Like like I love my Warriors, and we're gonna hopefully get a ring for Steph, ring 5. But past that, like as a basketball fan in general, this is
Oh man, box
woo,
office. Box office, get your popcorn to the side of you and watch great hoops because, we just saw a great 7 game series between OKC and
yeah.
Denver. I expect the same. I expect another 7 game series with Minnesota and OKC
Always everybody.
because the weapons on each side, the matchups, Ant versus Shea, this is the kind of series that we're going to be talking about for a while because Shea and Ant are going to be the you know, two of the best from this generation, and
Yeah.
down the line, we're going to look at this and be like, wow, that's a really pivotal series for both of their careers, and we'll see what happens after. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and this is their first time matching up in the playoffs. This is like the birth of their rivalry in a sense. Like this is where the NBA could kind of start building a rivalry between like two guards, both guys. Like starting next year, Ant's gonna be up there in MVP
Hmm.
conversation. Minnesota is in the top 4. Like those conversations are gonna be happening. Those comparisons are gonna for sure going to happen. So this is going to be very pivotal, like you just said.
And I'll make my prediction.
Okay.
I have OKC winning in 6 or 7, likely 7. And why I feel that way? Isaiah Hartenstein is going to turn Rudy Gobert into the old Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
He's been very good this postseason
Yeah.
on offense and, of course, always on defense. Oh, look, he's giving a thumbs up as I gave a thumbs up. But that's pretty cool. Chet Holmgren is going to be the one to guard Julius Randle and try to disrupt him
Yeah.
like Draymond Green couldn't.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren should look at what Draymond didn't do against Randle and do,
Right.
the flip side of that because, not letting him get the three off, not really letting him bully him inside. I mean, Julius is a strong dude.
Yeah.
Chet's still, got muscle he's got to put on, but disrupting in the paint is really going to make them play inside out. And might be chucking if he can't get inside. You never know.
Yeah.
I think the X factor for Minnesota to go deep in this series or win it would be Naz Reid. I think he's got to average about 20 a game to really push them forward. If not, OKC is going to jump all over 'em.
Okay. I can see that happening. For me, the X factor for the Wolves is actually Jalen McDaniels, because like people have
Oh
been
yeah, of
sleeping on
course,
him.
of course.
People don't think of him as like the third star. Like Rudy Gobert will be up
Hmm.
there as the third star, or even Naz Reid. But like Jalen McDaniels is pretty much your fifth option. Then
Yep.
that's a solid. And plus his defense on J Dub's gonna factor a
Hmm.
lot, because we did see J Dub have like a roller coaster series against Nuggets. He came out on top in Game 7, but
Yeah,
for the most of the series, it was up and down, kind of like Jalen Green. So
very
still a question mark
good point.
there.
Very good point.
Yeah.
I would also say Dante DiVincenzo is very needed for
Shout out to
Minnesota.
the
I mean,
boy.
it's the bench,
Yeah.
like OKC is deep. Aaron Wiggins could come in and just
Yeah.
splash 5 threes, so they need to
Isaiah
match
Joe.
the bench. Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, they're
Yeah.
pretty damn good down there.
Yeah. The Game 7, Kaysen Wallace played excellent defense, in my opinion. Like, he was
Yep.
holding it down against Jamal Murray, whenever he got his minutes. Like, he disrupted those moments. Yeah. I feel like going back to it, it's going to be an excellent series. Let me just go to a little bit of stats that's happening just to kind of differentiate them.
Sure.
26.5 points per game for Ant, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.5 steals. SGA is at 29 points, 6 boards, 6.4 assists, 1.5 steals. So both of those guys have been having like similar type of numbers, similar type of impact, controlling like from the boards, assists, like the whole flow of the game. It's going to be a very like fun matchup.
It's going to be a fun one, man. I can't wait.
Yep.
Can't wait.
So what do we think about for the finals in itself? I know you already got Knicks going on. You got OKC coming out. So is it go New York go, or do I need to come out for is there going to be a parade out in New York? Are we celebrating together? What's happening this summer?
Listen, OKC, it's their year. They're winning no matter who they face. Even if it's Indiana, if it's New York, whatever. I'll call that a Charles Barkley guarantee.
Okay.
So they're gonna beat my Knicks. It's gonna be sad, but it's gonna be amazing to get there.
Yeah.
The Knicks are nowhere as deep as the OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
And the 3-point barrage from the Thunder, Hartenstein and Chet are gonna dominate Cat down there.
Sure.
And Mitchell Robinson. It's the matchups. The matchups aren't playing too well for the Knicks. I'm not gonna lie.
Revenge, game or series as well.
Hartenstein's revenge. Yep.
Y'all didn't want me in New York. Cool. Y'all see what I did with my new squad?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Thank you once again, my guy, for pulling up with me. It was great to converse with you once again. Hopefully we talk one more time before the finals actually does happen. Till then, I know I said Indy, but you already know my love for you, so I gotta still rock with the Knicks. Like, I hope the Pacers, can get away from their flow a little bit, so Brunson can kind of take over a little bit. So you already know what it is. Till next time, thank you once again, my guy.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Everybody, make sure to follow Courtside Buzz on all platforms, and Strikeout Buzz, the baseball version of everything you see, will be coming over the next
very,
couple weeks.
very soon. And the merch is going to be out very soon as well. All summer, y'all tune in. More stuff to come. Thank you, my guy.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.